Welcome to Be On It, episode 31.
Hey, Jessica, what's going on in the beehive today?
Hey, Debbie, good morning. I was just thinking about if it's more beneficial to get up early versus getting up later in the day. For me personally, I'm an early riser. I always have been. I go to bed on the earlier side because of my work schedule. Would you say you're more of an earlier riser or do you tend to get up later in the day?
I think that I'm sort of in the middle. I don't usually or naturally get up super early. On the other hand, I don't like to sleep late either. Fall asleep around 10ish is when I kind of want to go into my room and go to bed. So I feel like I'm in between. I'm a little bit of both, I guess. But I want to be an early riser because I really want to utilize the time in the morning before I start work.
I think I'm a little bit of both, but I tend to gravitate towards being more of an early riser. I think
Mhm.
because of my work schedule, I just naturally get tired earlier. But when I'm on vacation or whatever, I'll sleep in a little bit and then I'll stay up a little later. But for me, I've always enjoyed waking up before everybody. Today, for instance, we had the lunar moon. I just set my alarm and got up at 3:15. Unfortunately, it was cloudy. For me, I enjoy things like that. I enjoy the stillness of the early morning, the quietness before everybody's up. I just enjoy having my cup of coffee with no one needing anything. And
Uh,
I feel like I can just be, and even watching the sunset and listening to the birds start to tweet and stuff. I just really enjoy that morning time to myself and just meditating and waking up slowly and getting
there.
creative. It just has always been something that gives me a fresh outlook for my day. I feel I'm just most productive when I get up early.
I'm with you there. I have so many good memories of and moments of waking up early. And again, it's that quiet peacefulness where you can do things at your own pace without being rushed. And it's like kind of dark outside, not quite light. So it's kind of like, I don't know what you call that. It's dawn, definitely dawn. I believe it's dawn before the sunrise. And you get to see all the birds. You get to see the changes with the weather as the sun peeks out. Something about this time is really, really special to me, and I am trying to push myself to get up early. And I'm talking like I can get up like at 4:30 or 5. That would be wonderful. I just seem to have issues most of the time doing that.
Well, it's interesting that you say that because I don't think there's anything wrong with not getting up early as long as you're getting enough rest.
Mm.
I wanted to know the science behind early risers versus late risers. Like, is one better than the other? And so I found this article called sciencefocus.com, and there was an article about early risers and night owls. And if you have a chance to check it out, it kind of goes into chronotypes and genetics. I just kind of am summarizing what I thought was interesting about it. It talks about 60% of us are a mix of the two, night owls and early risers. And I would say I'm more of a mix, but I tend to gravitate towards the earlier side because of my work schedule. And then, it's more about the time you go to bed. If you go to bed early and you get up early, that's great. If you go to bed late and you get enough sleep, that's fine. They said that more women gravitate to getting up earlier than men. Men are more night owls. It says that if you get up earlier, you tend to be happier. With that being said, as long as night owls get proper sleep, they can be just as happy. It really depends on what works for you or if you're sleep deprived. And it talks about what is your most optimal creative time. For people, sometimes they are their most creative at night and because things have quieted down, just like being an early riser, things are still quiet, no one's up yet. Well,
Mm.
everybody's in bed. So both are great as long as you're getting enough rest. Another interesting point about early risers versus late risers is it talks about early risers tend to be more self disciplined, orderly, and ambitious. But then it talks about late risers, they scored higher in extroversion and openness. So that
Mm.
was really interesting. This article talked about how they did a study at a university in Turkey. They had residents do questionnaires, and those that stayed up later tended to be more depressed and had more issues that they didn't get enough rest. Those that were early risers tended to be happier and more positive and did better. What it boils down to is sleep. As long as
Yeah.
you get sleep on both sides, whatever works for you. Sometimes just your genotype, you're geared towards being more of a night owl. So I think that, instead of working against it, if you're just not naturally an early riser, as your schedule and your career allows you to do that, I think you just have to find what works for you.
Yeah, I'm thinking nature versus nurture. I mean, when I
Yeah.
was growing up, I was always prompted and woken up early. That was just what we did in our household. So it's almost kind of like a work ethic that's in my mind, like getting up early. That's what you get up with the sun. Like when the sun is out, you shouldn't be in bed unless you're sick. That's always been a mindset of mine, and then the way I was raised really supports that. Also my circadian rhythm, like I can't stay up late because I get tired. And also the flow of the flow of the house in the evening, it's like after dinner, it's like your downtime, but the downtime isn't like peaceful, quiet time. It's like, oh, we get to watch TV, or it's more like entertainment related. And so I feel like because of that, just the flow of how things go at home, I don't necessarily get those magic moments like I do in the morning. It's
Yeah.
just, it doesn't happen. Just with other people in the household and what everybody gravitates towards, and sort of this like entertainment filled evening before bed.
I would have to agree because I think for me, when I had smaller children, I would have to get up earlier to get things ready and organized for the day or do it the night before as well. So it was always about helping others, not for myself. If I wanted time to myself, I needed to get up a little bit earlier so I could have that. And I find I'm my most creative self when I'm sitting in quietness and I can meditate and think about things and reflect and process. I can't do that if there's other noise going on in the house. For me, because my family are night owls,
Mm-hmm.
and my husband, especially when he's home, he's more of a night owl. I need that morning time when everybody's still asleep. I find peace. I find I'm my best creative self. That's always how I've been. And plus, I work a job that starts early and, goes, 12 hours. And
Yeah.
it doesn't leave a lot of time to be staying up late if you have to get up so early.
I want to be like you. I want to be a morning riser. I want to be comfortable waking up in the morning, and I want to, basically implement that into my daily routine. I just can't get there. And I think it's I think it's due to not getting great sleep. So that's what I've been working on, but it's just not getting me anywhere. I've tried supplementation, I've tried all these different sleep routines, and I'm always just exhausted in the morning. And I mean, the only thing that I feel like helps my sleep is being really tired, gets me to bed, or helps me to fall asleep. I usually do like, I put laundry my husband puts laundry in the dryer and it needs to be taken out. And once it's taken out, I have him pour it over me.
Oh, it's warm.
Yeah, warm laundry. One thing is falling asleep, and the next thing is staying asleep without waking up between 3 in the morning and then having to get back to bed. So, and acupuncture has helped me. If I get an acupuncture treatment, I will basically fall asleep in the room during the treatment.
Nice.
My big frustration is I want a good morning routine. I want to wake up at 4:35. I want to have the quiet, the peacefulness, the opportunities to have good mental processing and creativity. That's like 2 hours a day, 14 hours a week. So there's an opportunity cost for me of not getting up early in the morning, but it's like I'm having the sleep difficulties. But for you, it sounds like despite having interrupted sleep and maybe not being fully restored with sleep, you still get up
I
despite.
still get up. That's just
So
my natural
how
rhythm.
so then let's talk about like what do you do? What you have an alarm clock, or do you just naturally wake up, your eyes open up
It's
at.
funny because I think I need to set my alarm because I'm afraid I'm not going to wake up, especially for work. There's that panic that, oh my gosh, I'm late for work. So I
Mhm.
do set an alarm, but I usually wake up before my alarm. Like
Mhm.
for instance, today, like when I'm off a couple of days of work during the weekday, because I don't work a 9 to 5 and I don't work Monday through Friday. I work a pattern shift and they're 12-hour shifts and I have to be to work at 6 a.m. and I work until 6:30 p.m. So I try to go to bed no later than 8 p.m. I fall asleep and then, I'll wake up throughout the night and then I get up at 3:30 a.m. I allow myself that time because I want to take a shower and I want to get ready and I want to have my breakfast.
Mhm.
Then I'm going to head to work. I don't want to worry about if there's an accident because I don't live in the same state that I work in, crossing a bridge, the what ifs. And it's also my meditative time and my thinking time. I can decompress. It makes me feel not rushed and it makes me feel like I'm set for the day.
Okay. Whether you get woken up by your alarm clock alarm clock or not, when you open up your eyes, you just jump out of bed? Or do you do
I've
something
always
in
been a just jump out of bed kind of
you
girly.
just take the covers off and you just get out of bed?
I'm up.
Okay.
Once I'm up, I mean, now, am I fully awake? Oh gosh, no. It takes me quite a while to like fully wake up and process, but
Okay,
like
what do you do
automatically
next though?
robot like I'm out of bed. I'm like, I'm going, brushing my teeth. Like I have a
Oh,
routine.
okay. You do your you go to the
Wash my
bathroom.
face,
Okay.
brush my teeth, take a
Uh-huh.
shower, all the things
First, after getting
first.
out of bed. Okay. And then you go and have your coffee and
Yep.
mhm.
I'm very organized in that way. I'm very disciplined in that way. I have to do all that stuff first.
Mhm.
And when we had a dog, I'd have to let the dog out because she would naturally like look at me like, "What are you doing up this early?" I was the only one in my family up that early. So then she's like, "Well, if I'm gonna, if you're up, I'm gonna get up, and now I need to go to the bathroom." So when you
Mhm.
have animals or little ones, you have to kind of think accordingly. So
Yeah.
I've always been a person that would get up before everybody else so that I was ready.
Okay. So, because when I naturally wake up, or if I'm woken up by an alarm super early, the first thing that I do is press the snooze button. And then I like turn over and try to get like another 5, 10 minutes until the alarm goes off again. That's my problem. I need to just
Oh yeah,
literally get physically out of the bed.
oh yeah. I am not a
So,
snoozer. That would
okay.
never happen with me.
Okay, so Jessica, well, just thinking out loud, what I need to do is put my alarm clock or put my phone in the bathroom. That way, in order to snooze the alarm, actually I have to physically get out of the bed.
Right.
And
And
then,
I think you can train yourself because I had to train myself to here's how I have to do it because when I'm off for a couple of days, that first day that I'm off, I will sleep in a little bit. Naturally, for work I get up at 3:30, right? So then when I'm off that first day, I might sleep in until 6 or 6:37. I think I slept in until 7 yesterday. And then
mhm,
today, because the lunar moon, I wanted to see it, I set my alarm at 3:15, but I started nodding off. I was trying to get through a movie and I probably started at 8 p.m. and I didn't get through this movie. So I got myself into bed properly at 10. And then that alarm did go off at 3:15 and I was like, "Oh, I want to see if we can catch the moon." And Matt, my husband, woke up cuz he wanted to watch the moon too, but unfortunately it was just cloudy. So
mhm,
then I had another alarm set for 6 a.m. because if I get up earlier the day before I have to go to work, I have to kind of trick my body into getting up earlier so I'm a little bit more tired. So then I go to bed tonight at 8 p.m. I sleep well
mhm.
so then I can get up at 3:30 and not be so exhausted that I can't think straight and work properly at
Yeah.
work for the 12
Yeah.
hours. So that's kind of what I have to do some mind tricking and just like be good about going to bed around the same time if I can help it.
Yeah.
Getting up around the same time. Am I really good at it? No. On my days off, I'll just kind of go to bed whenever I'm tired and then get up whenever. Mostly, I don't usually sleep past 9 o'clock on my
Yeah.
days off. Like
Oh
if
yeah.
I have a stretch of days off, that's rare. And that's only if I've gone to bed like at 2 in the morning. I really don't sleep any more than 7 hours. On occasion, 8 hours. I'm really
Mhm.
more of like a 6 to 7 hour sleeper.
Mhm.
And that's just my norm. That's all I tend to need.
And I think it's a mind game. I need to like
It
um
is.
I need to, and also I realized that when I did get up super early and maintain that for a short length of time, I had something exciting that I needed to do in the morning. After I got the espresso machine, I was like, "Oh, I can go make myself a latte." Or if I had something exciting that like the blood moon, I got up early too. So
Yeah.
things like that. If there's something that I'm anticipating that I know I'm like going to be you know, anticipating and excited about, I will get up early and it just makes that process so much easier. Maybe I need to trick myself that way. Like have something or even a playlist on your phone, like some
I think
sort of
that's
music,
good.
to kind of wake you up.
Yeah, some people do that with their alarm clocks, like, they just set it to a certain song that like my husband does, he has a certain song that wakes him up. that he
Mm.
likes, something that's not too jarring for him personally.
I'll do
So it'll
that.
go off on my sleep in days, and I'm like, "Oh, man." It's like my one time I could sleep in and his alarm's going off for work. He and I are on opposite schedules, so it makes
Okay.
it really challenging when you live with somebody on opposite.
Totally. Oh, totally. Yeah, because you're the only one waking up.
Yes, I'm the only one in my family that gets
Though
up early.
if I'm gonna wake up and I want I do want my me time. So if nobody else gets up, I'm okay with that because
Oh, yeah.
that way I get my own me time. But
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. I need to do that. Maybe I need to change my alarm clock to a tune that actually is motivating. Like
Yeah, there you go.
Jocko has this one thing I
Flight
can
of the
put on there.
Bumblebee.
Yeah, my word. That'd be funny.
Light fire under you. Yeah, no, it's funny that you say that because I get when I know I'm about to travel,
Oh
I
yeah.
will be I'll be up later, and I know that we have to get up super early. I'll be so excited I barely sleep because I love traveling so much, and the
Mm-hmm.
anticipation of going somewhere new or going to see
Aw.
family or whatever it may be. Oh, yeah, I hardly sleep, and I thrive. I'm like, I don't know what I'm living on. It must be caffeine because, like, I'm just energized and ready.
Oh, that's so cool.
But so you have to trick your mind. I think that's a
I,
good tip. Trick your
yeah.
mind into feeling like, you're more awake than you are. And
You know what? I think the narrative has been sleep is so important, get your sleep in. But for me, and this is just for me, after having this conversation, I'm thinking, yes, sleep is important, get what you can, but if you don't get so many hours of sleep that you wanted to, get up anyways. That's what
just
I'm
get
telling
up.
my get up anyways. It's a balance. You're not going to get the goal amount of sleep every day that you want. For me, I'm not going to. So it doesn't matter. Get up anyways because I cannot sacrifice not having that morning time for
Right.
myself. So
And I
what's
think it
more
is about that.
important? Yeah, what's more important to me? It's having the morning time because when I don't get the morning time, I feel like I'm running on a deficit, and it's very self defeating to me when I struggle getting up in the morning. It's really annoying for myself.
Yeah. I have to have a routine. I'm such an early riser. Always have been, even as a little kid. I think it started with getting up to watch morning cartoons on Saturday morning. It's anticipatory excitement of something new. Always
Hmm.
gets me up. New day, new fresh outlook. I've cleared my mind. I'm ready to start anew. I think you have to find what your optimal bedtime is and making sure that you get the best sleep you can. Both are fine. It really depends on your sleep, on how happy you are. For
Hmm.
me, I'm just happier when I go to bed earlier and get up earlier. I'm not as tired, I'm not as exhausted, I think better, and I just feel more efficient. So I think it boils down to that for me
And a
personally.
balance, I think. And then for me,
Balance.
I would say a balance. And then you just have to go with what's more of a priority for you long term and support yourself in all the ways to getting good sleep. But at the same time, if getting up early is a priority, then make it happen. And there's tips and tricks that you can do to kind of trick yourself to have that excitement to get up.
Exactly. If you like what we're all about, please join us next time. Have a great
Thanks.
day.
Just so you know, this is for entertainment purposes only. We are speaking from our lived experiences and are not licensed therapists. We are all about community. Join our community by following and subscribing to Be On It through YouTube, Instagram, and of course your podcasting platform so we can continue to bring Be On It to you.